Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District 23 Senate 2020. A father, an activist, a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Purple Heart recipient with a bachelor's degree in information technology software engineering. CJ is the executive producer for the Adam vs. the Man podcast with Adam Kokesh, and the CEO of Internet Warlords, the War for the Internet, as well as a former 2018 South Dakota Libertarian gubernatorial candidate, and a 2020 South Dakota delegate to the Libertarian National Convention. If you would like to join this broadcast, click the link in the description. Coffee and a Conversation starts now. Have a great day or don't. The choice is always yours.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, CJ, the Internet Warlord, coming to you live and loud from the great state of Dakota. You know Dakota, it's the state just south of North Dakota, that Dakota. How you guys doing this morning? Oh, I'm on my way to the Battle of Gettysburg, South Dakota this morning. And this is all stemming from... okay, well, let me start off by saying first and foremost that everybody is connected to everyone in some way, shape, or form, and we are all a few degrees off from any tragedy, from being involved personally in any given situation at any given time. Now, the death of George Floyd, I found out live on Adam vs. the Man and watched what had happened and transpired for the first time there, horrified at what I was seeing. But I never thought to myself, much like the coronavirus from China, that it would truly impact my life, or that I would, be affected by it in some way, shape, or form in my daily life. Like, I would know of it, but would I really be affected by it? Well, fast forward some time later, and now I'm on my way to Gettysburg, South Dakota, after the uncle of the man murdered just makes a statement to the press. And people responded. And, honestly, I've been sitting here for weeks on end pondering why things are the way they are, and I am just one person. But one thing. Let me tell you one thing that really irked me this morning. Before I get too deep into this conversation, also for those tuning in, there is a link in the description. You can still join this broadcast. I am on the road to Gettysburg, South Dakota. This is an audio only this morning. And, the veteran community, and I'm going to speak to the veteran community specifically this morning, because it seems to me that some have forgotten their oath, that some have forgotten what it means to take that constitutional oath and to protect the rights of everyone, all the time, all their freedoms. There's a certain sect of veteran that I'm going to have to designate, I don't know, what do you call when you mix a veteran with a Trump supporter? They'd say patriot, CJ. That word is patriot. And no, you idiot, it's not patriot. The word patriot doesn't mean how well you can deep throat the dick of the president, you moron. Or how much you lick the boot of the government. You idiot. Well, they're not real combat veterans, CJ. They never went outside the wire. They never put their meat sack on the line for the global war on terrorism. They're just pogues, CJ, pogues. Let me assure you, most of the population doesn't think like you. That they're just pogues. They didn't put their meat sack on the line in the front line of a combat zone, you fucking idiot. If you forget what your oath actually says, to support and defend the Constitution, not the fucking government. Not the fucking government, you idiot. To support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, where most of you Trumplican veterans, which we'll get a better word for you, I assure you, in due time. But you Trumplican veterans seem to think that only combat veterans' opinions matter, and their opinion then only matters if they're willing to deep throat the president's dick on TV. That's what you now think the word patriot means, and I'm fucking appalled by it. Appalled by it. You forget what a domestic enemy to the Constitution looks like, and no, it's not what Black Lives Matter is doing. It's not what a group of moms is doing. It's not what baseball players and football players are doing. It's your fucking government, you idiot. Maybe you had your brain racked a little too many times. Maybe you been involved in some IED blasts and fucked your skull up or some shit. Your brain noodles all off. But it really just jerks my gears to hear a veteran dismiss the service of another veteran because they didn't go outside the wire, because they didn't almost die. You know, it's like, fuck you. I know myself. I was part of a route clearance platoon. Our job was to find roadside bombs, dig up IEDs. Our job was to clear the route so people could pass safely through a road and not fucking die. But no, CJ, you're an Abernathy. We remember you, Abernathy. Aren't you that guy that went UA one day? Didn't like the Marine Corps way? Turn yourself in, and what were you thinking? You were so depressed that you started drinking. And you think that you're going to be like, oh, CJ, that affects you. You're like, oh, you're Abernathy. We know you. Motherfucker, I've got more friends that are veterans that message me than you dumb cocksucker, that we served with together, that are still friends today. And they don't base the service off of, well, maybe, just maybe, if you suck the dick of Trump a little bit more, we wouldn't call you Abernathy. Like, really? Really? I don't know. But I'm on audio only. Jonathan, you got your camera on. I see you backstage there, man. I don't know if you want to be on camera or not. You're more than welcome to. Or you can just shut your camera off. Be mic only. I'll leave that up to you. But welcome, Jonathan. Good morning, sir.
What's up, brother?
Oh, you know, just headed to the Battle of Gettysburg, South Dakota.
Hey, you're always out there battling up. I love it.
I'm always standing up for the people's rights and interests, sir. But what brings you to the broadcast this morning, sir?
Gee, that happens to go back to your oath, right?
Yeah, you know, it's like you gotta support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and yeah, you know, they say once a Marine, always a Marine. Your oath of enlistment your oath to the Constitution never expires. And then they say, well, you know, if you didn't go put your meat sack on the line in a combat zone, your service is worth less than those that did. And I just utterly refute that as somebody who has been to the front line, has a Purple Heart, did a very dangerous job, and I refute that my service is worth any more or less than any other service member.
No, because fact of the matter is we all put our ass on the line. We all signed that fucking contract. and all of us were willing to not come back.
If we had to, if that was what it cost, if that's what our duty obligated us to do to protect the people to our left and right, and it meant our lives were lost that day. I have friends that are gone, friends that have died in combat. I've got people that have committed suicide after they get out. It amazes me what a veteran will do to another veteran, especially a veteran that's a firm Trump supporter who will dismiss your service if you're not kissing the ass of the President of the United States.
Yeah, it's actually total bullshit because I hate Trump. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I think he's a waste of the presidency. I think he's total disservice to the office. But I'm not gonna. If another veteran like Dick Liberty loves fucking Trump, so be it. I'm not gonna fucking tell him he's.
I'm not gonna take the man's service from him.
No.
But see, there seems to be a difference in the veteran community of a certain sect of veterans. And I'm talking about the Trump loyalists. I'm talking about the one that could see irrefutable evidence that Trump is just a piece of shit and go, oh no, that's still my president and your service is worth less than mine now because you didn't do something, heroic in combat. Like, just some dumb, ignorant stuff like that. Dick Liberty is not the example I'm speaking of in this case.
No. But he happens to be a supporter of Trump.
Yeah, but I also think that if it came out that Donald Trump was involved in child sex trafficking, that Dick Liberty would reconsider his alignment with the president.
Oh, absolutely.
But not these certain individuals. These certain individuals think the word patriot revolves. Go ahead.
I don't understand how I'm a traitor because I don't like Trump.
I don't understand how they've taken the word patriot and service to your country and your oath of the Constitution as loyalty to Donald J. Trump.
It's not. That's
what I'm saying, and they will view your service as less than theirs if you don't agree with Trump, if you don't back him unquestionably, willingly, and knowingly, and say that you dedicate your life to the president, not the Constitution.
No, my life was put on the line for the Constitution, not for the president.
Amen. And that's what I'm trying to get at, is that this is a guy, because I know you saw what comment thread I'm talking about. Unfortunately,
oh yeah, I couldn't believe these people standing up saying that the vets were doing wrong by fucking protecting the peaceful protesters.
Right, from the government. Like, this is literally mind-blowing. It's a mindfuck to me because most of those people you saw in that comment thread were people I was served with, that I went to war with.
Yeah, I kind of figured that might be the case.
I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I'm not telling you I'm fucking John Basilone. I'm not telling you I'm freaking one of these Marines that are heroic in warfare. And I don't have a Bronze Star. I don't have a Medal of Honor. I mean, I have a Purple Heart, but even then, I don't think that makes me any better than a guy that joined the Marine Corps and just cooked food all day long, or was a mechanic, or was even an admin Marine. I mean, a Marine is a Marine. And so it blows my mind the opinion that some veterans have taken in their ignorant stance towards the time we live in. I mean, to me, it's domestic warfare on the people of the United States by the Trump administration, and they're just like, yeah, no, that's cool. If America invaded America, and maybe we spent trillions of dollars on the war for America, and we, I mean, that's what this is turning into, is a war against the people.
Yes, it is.
And these Trump supporters are like, nah, It's not turning into a war, CJ. It's like, yes, it is. 100% in front of your eyeballs. And I promise you, you Trump supporters are in the minority. And you Trump veterans are in the minority.
Well, yeah, and what gets me is we have these peaceful protests, but yet, okay, there's always bad actors in any situation.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you're going to have a few that are going out there and causing trouble. But for the majority, these people are peacefully protesting, trying to get a better society for our children.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yet our federal government is going in unwelcomed into these cities and following their own policies.
And violating the Constitution.
So why shouldn't veterans be out there standing in front of these people? No. You got to cross me to get to them.
Right. And because you do that, your service to the country is now degraded to the Trump supporter loyalist veteran. And that's what they were saying. And that's why I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, well, I know. And that's kind of why I had to jump in, because it was like, yeah, wait a minute. No.
Yeah, and the thing is, man, like when the veterans went out to Standing Rock, for example, there were people that were this was right around the time that the oil pipeline was going through, and they were protesting the pipeline, and these same veterans are like, oh, their service is now worth less because I'm offended and triggered by them. And it's like, I mean, it's just, at what point do you just go, man, you have some brainwashed fucking views of what you think defending the Constitution is. I would say most of these so-called combat veterans, I would say most of them haven't actually fucking read the Constitution, let alone understand it or how it was created by. I will remind every veteran that your founding fathers of that document you take an oath to was written by felons to the British Crown.
Yes.
All of them risked their life. Were traitors. They were all traitors. So when you call me a traitor to the Trump administration, I go, and your point fucking being, you're a loyalist to the blue coats now. It's not the red coats in 2020. It's it was in 1775. It's the fucking blue coats.
Yep.
And they have a flag that violates U.S. flag code that looks like the black and white flag with the blue stripe in the middle.
Yeah.
That violates U.S. flag code. And these fucking idiots don't realize that either. And so that's why I'm a big supporter of you fly your flag, man. I don't care what it looks like. I don't get offended by it. It helps me identify you so I can properly speak about you, and I can say you're the fucking idiot.
I'd love to be driving down the road beside you and wonder what the fuck is going on in your vehicle right now.
Well, I mean, I'm in my pickup. I got a nice little Chevy Silverado. It's comfortable. I got the air going, and I'm talking to you, man.
But I just ride down the road and look at people, and I can tell how passionate you are about this topic, and I can imagine what you would look like driving down the road, passionately talking to yourself, basically, in a vehicle.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I got some cows off to my left. I'm sure they enjoy the entertainment. But, the thing is, man, is, I'd be passionate about this whether or not I'm on camera, off camera, alone, to myself. I ponder these things, and it blows my mind. Like I said, man, I never once considered myself the perfect Marine. But I did 4 years. I got out as a corporal. I got an honorable discharge. I deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. I was told you'll never make the rank of corporal. I did, and I was a corporal for a year and a half, proud of my service. And then I get out, and I'm trying to figure out the world, trying to find my place in it. And all of a sudden, I find a home in the Libertarian Party, running for public office, giving public speeches, working on legislations and committees and groups and organizations that are trying to make changes to the laws and the problems we have through the appropriate redresses of grievance. But we have a government that will use force against us, and I stand up against that, man. And nobody sits there and tells me, CJ, this is the first time I've heard that my service and its value is determined to my loyalty to the president. And it blows my mind, man. I mean, people have tried to use that like, oh, he was a shitbag Marine when like that's their go-to, like, oh, he was a shitbag. Like, I'll admit, man, my first year in, I would call myself a shitbag. But they try to use that first year like it's something that I'm going to be held to for the rest of my life, forgetting the fact that, I got out with an honorable discharge, 2 combat deployments, a Purple Heart, and I did my time in, and I chose to get out. I've met people that have done way more heroic and incredible feats to protect their fellow Marines and done way more things to me. There's people in my own platoon that I still to this day look up to and admire. And then there's the other people, like one of those people you saw in the comments there, that, he was there. He did his thing like anybody else. I won't take it from him. But I'm not saying he was a fucking hero either. So it's like a bunch of people, trying to think like, oh, well, my service is better than yours. And I'm like, no, we're all equal. I mean, I might raise up some that were beyond comparison, that did things that I can't imagine even doing, and some that died for that. And then to have fucking people go, remember that first year you were in the Marine Corps 14 years ago? You're that shitbag still today. Like, fuck you, you ignorant idiot. I have sergeant majors that looked at me as before I got out, a week before I got out, and told me, oh my God, there, Corporal Abernathy, I can't believe you made it a corporal in my Marine Corps. Oh, congratulations there, Devil Dog. And you know what? I'm proud of you. And you think that I listened to some words of some fucking sergeant from 10 years ago, and oh my God, my day is ruined because some sergeant who was a dick 90% of the fucking time, it says I'm a shitbag. Like, fuck you. You think you're going to take it from me? You can't. And I've done more to uphold my oath to the Constitution after the fact, and it didn't involve sucking Donald Trump's dick. So,
well, it makes no sense to judge you from your first year of service when your last 3 years of service probably had more effect on you than your first year of service anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, man? I'll tell you what. I was in my last 6 months. I was a brig chaser. I would take Marines from the brig to their court martial, back to the brig, their unit, or out the gate, whichever the judge decided, right? And so, or whatever the result of the court martial was. Yeah, whatever their result of their trial was, that's where we took them, and then that was it. And my unit had tons of Marines that were in the brig for stupid shit. And then they'd come to H&S Company office, and I would have to be in charge of these fuckers while they do their work duties and their details and throughout the other daily grinding and shit, their PTing and all that. And I convinced more Marines that had gotten in just a little bit of trouble like I did. Just like, hey, man, I know you got in some trouble. I know times are down, but you can be a Marine. You can fulfill your oath and your obligation and your service and still get out with an honorable discharge. And I'm proof of it. And I inspired Marines to stay in, get their shit straight, and to be better people. And this fucker wants to take that from me. And it's like, you know what, man, I'm not going to let that kind of person win at the end of the day. I'll speak about it in the morning. But I promise you, by the time I lay my head down, Jonathan, that I promise you, I don't let it get to me. I regroup and rethink my thoughts. I meditate on it. And I don't just let them win. I just use it in the future as acknowledgement that there is a sect of veteran out there that does not remember what the actual constitutional oath means. And I can't fix that kind of stupid. And I'd be dumb for trying.
Well, nobody can take your service away from you no matter what. But you know that. You know what you did. really, there ain't no explaining anything to nobody, because if they haven't lived your life, they can't fucking judge you. They can
Right.
try.
And that's the thing, man. Like, I'm not saying that I'm trying to judge them based on their service. I'm judging them based on whether or not their actions follow their oath, and if they actually understand what that oath entails and what it means to be involved. And sometimes defending the Constitution means running for office, means going to rallies to protect rights, going to protest, and standing in the middle and saying, "Hey, you got to go through me to get to them." And that's what. But yet these are the same people that I've heard, say some of the most racist shit on the planet. You listen to them overseas, and it's every euphemism for a haji, a towel head, all these racist terms they'll use. And it's like, you don't think I don't remember that stuff? And then it kind of makes sense that you would align with the Trump administration and their bigoted prejudices against certain individuals, ways of thinking, ways of life, ways of governing themselves. Their state right to govern themselves without the federal government being an overbearing, tyrannical military police force invading our cities and capitals all across the country. That stuff, the things that the British did to us in the beginning of this country.
Yeah, the violation of our constitutional rights, you mean?
Yeah, and these people forget it, Jonathan. I'm telling you, it's like, man, if we could just have a day where every veteran knew what their constitutional oath actually meant, this government would be overthrown in a day.
Well, and then I kind of wonder if some of those buffoons that were commenting this morning realize that they're still under oath.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, these people don't realize that just because you say, "Oh, these veterans are traitors," I mean, what you're doing is you're saying to them what you're doing to fulfill your oath and what you believe to be the right thing to do is wrong because my president says you're wrong.
Yes.
And it's a ridiculous notion. It's a dumb argument to make. It's not based in rational logic. When I first got into the Marine Corps, man, my first year in, when I was in that tumultuous time, I was drinking heavily. I mean, I was young. I was about to go to a war. I was, partying and making dumb decisions. And one night I'll never forget it. And I'm going to say it, and I'll probably get censored on YouTube, and it'll be maybe even on Facebook. Who knows? But I'll never forget there was a sergeant at Courthouse Bay, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, when I was at combat engineer school. The first thing this guy said when he came out the door after finding out Barack Obama had won election in 2007, he came out of the duty hut. He went AWOL, and he said, quote, I don't work for no niggers. And again, that was his words, not mine. And I prefaced that, and that's why I prefaced that statement. And so, but that would be the same guy that Trump would get in office, and yes, sir, I'm reporting for duty, sir. And you're just like, you know what? Admit it. There's an element of racism. Admit it. There is an element of constitutional rights violations that are taking place. And your loyalty is based on political party, not based upon the constitutional document that you claim you support and defend.
Well, that reminds me of coming back from Afghanistan, and you come back from a war zone and they expect you to train up again.
Not only do they expect you to train up again, they expect you to be ready to go within 6 months. Half, if not faster.
Well, we got a brand new butter bar when we came back, and fresh out of West Point. And don't you know that he learned everything from YouTube?
Oh God.
Oh yes.
Oh God. Oh
And we had a
no.
butter bar trying to tell us that YouTube was the place to go, even though all of us just came back from a very hostile combat zone.
Yeah, and you're like, all right, so Lieutenant YouTube's a lot over here, or Lieutenant YouTube is going to teach us how to combat when we just came back from combat. Like, get out of here! Like, really?
Oh, well, we had a first sergeant that took the company out into the field and had to use the phones to find their way out.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, land nav went great.
Oh no! Oh no! I can imagine the memes and the shit talking that would have came out of that one, man.
Oh yeah,
Well,
Fort Stupid, Georgia, man.
Oh, Fort Stupid. I went to Fort Lost in the Woods once. And,
hey, that's where I did my basic training.
Yeah, I went to Fort Lost in the Woods once for Army, Marine Corps, route clearance training, combined training and whatnot. And I made a pretty famous joke that day that I'll refrain from saying today, but it's something along the lines of, hua and hoorah and what they actually are.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, man, I'm starting to notice the lag. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, headed to the Battle of Gettysburg, South Dakota this morning. Jonathan, thanks for coming on this morning, man, and thanks for having the conversation and just bearing witness to what I'm going through in the comments. And like I said, I appreciate you this morning. I don't even know if this thing's going to let me end the broadcast appropriately because it's kind of frozen, so I'm going to have to figure that out. But I appreciate
good, brother. You keep up the good fight, man. Keep going.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And you're always welcome on, Jonathan. And if you could just do me the favor of hitting the leave button so I can refresh my phone and close this down, I'd appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. Have a good
one. All right,
one.
everybody. You guys have a good day. Jonathan, thank you, sir. All right, you guys. Let me refresh this real quick because this is what Adam experiences every day, apparently. All right, I guess you get me on the screen now for just a moment. So, all right, on the way to the Battle of Gettysburg, South Dakota. Again, thanks, Jonathan, for coming on and having that conversation with me. This is what it looks like when I'm in my car passionately ranting about the stupid of the veteran community and their cock-sucking loyalty to the President of the United States, forgetting what their constitutional oath is. Now, with that being said, I hope it's a peaceful day in Gettysburg, South Dakota. I look forward to meeting a bunch of people down there. I'm pretty sure I'm the only candidate for office that's for District 23 that's driving down there to go be with the people in this time. And, it just goes to show you the difference between what actually upholding your constitutional oath is and what it actually means to be a patriot. And I assure you, loyalty to the president is not what makes you a fucking patriot. So with that being said, you guys have a good day or don't. The choice is always yours.